Hello there and welcome. I'm Ole Brøgger, and if you're new here, I really hope I'll earn your subscription today. In this video, I will have a look at the metallic paints from the Army Painter Fanatic set. A while ago, I received this nice Fanatic set. It was handed over to me in person by Thomas from the Army Painter, because I was apparently the first in the whole wide world that ordered this set. I already made a video about the 162 acrylic paints and you can watch it up here. But today we are going to have a look at the metallics. I have 3D printed some nice little shields, a label thingy for the paint job, and then I have a piece of cardboard here. So we better get started. To prepare this test, I will cut a slice of this cardboard. This is a 2mm cardboard and it should be stiff enough to hold all my shields. I will use another piece of cardboard to line up all the shields. I will put in some super glue dots, this is just measurement by the eye, and install all the shields, and that should pretty much be it. Now it's time to prime it all. First coat of the primer will be the Army Painter's matte black, and I will coat everything here in matte black. The second primer will be the matte gray. I moved up my second piece of cardboard just about a third over the shields, so I will get a full black, and now I can use the matte gray. And the last third of the shield will be primed with a matte white. Everything is now dry and we have all three colors of primer. I have printed out a label with all the metallic paints, and the measurement by the eye should fit okay. I used my vortex mixer to mix all the paints for at least 30 seconds, and I think this should be enough. Now we can start to apply some paint to this. First up is the rough iron. This is a color that I'm pretty familiar with, and I have used it a lot, both of the old series and the new series of Fanatics. And the cap will have a drop in the top, then I can easily identify it when the paints are in my rack. I will only apply paint to half of the shield, one on top of each color of primer. And it applies very smoothly. I really like the consistency of this paint. Next up, the red copper. And this applies very smoothly as well. It has a very nice damped red tone to it, and I really like this color. I think I can find a use for that as well. Weapon bronze has a bit more warmth to it. I think I can find a way to use this on maybe some weapons or just some decorations on a miniature. Now for the true copper. I've been looking forward to this, but it was like very thin. Maybe I didn't shake it enough. Yeah, I should have shaked it a bit more. It's almost like the speed paint, but it has less metallic to it. I will revisit this later. Evil Chrome has a nice pale chrome bronze to it, and I think I like this a lot. This is definitely gonna be handy in the future. True brass. Now this color I think is very cool, because I can use it for maybe an armor or some kind of an angel, and I think this mixed with some white wings and this pale goldish color, that would be awesome. The tainted gold is a gold with a tiny bit of green into it, and I think this will give a nice effect on maybe an elven armor or something like that. I think this could be very cool. The greedy gold is a reddish, very warm gold color. I think this will be very good for jewelry, and just use it for maybe buttons and stuff like that. The bright gold is the most goldish gold I've ever worked with, and I think this is insanely good. I've already used it on a couple of miniatures and I just love this. Mithril. This is a very shiny silver color, and this is definitely one of the silvers I'm going to use in the future. Usually when I paint a silver armor, I will use one of the dark silver colors like the plate mail or even a gunmetal, and then I will use a shiny silver for highlights. And speaking of shiny silver, this is the next color in the range, and I think it's almost similar to the mithril. It has a slight darker tone to it, but it's very difficult for me to pick it up on camera. Plate mail metal. Now this is a very cool color. It has a very deep silver look, and if you just highlight it with one of the brighter silvers after you have painted it, it looks awesome. You can also use it for weapons and stuff like that, and I think it's very cool. Gunmetal. Yeah, this is just what it says. It's a gunmetal, and it has a very dark silverish look, and it looks awesome. I am going to use a lot of this in the future, not to paint guns, but primarily for weapons, and then I will use some of the brighter silvers to highlight it. The cobalt metal. This is a very cool color. It is a silver with a blue tint to it. It looks like a silver with magical properties. And using this and highlight it with something like the mithril, it just gives an awesome magical look to maybe an armor. Death metal. Now this color have several purposes. I have used it for dry brushing and it looks very cool, like worn metal. I just imagine a death knight with this death metal armor and maybe highlight it with the true brass or tainted gold. The dark emerald. This color is almost like the cobalt metal. It's a silver with a tint of green into it. It's very dark and deep green, and it also have this magical effect, like a silver with some kind of nature magic. And I could imagine using this for an armor and highlight it with the tainted gold. I think that would look pretty cool. Glittering green. Now this color is pretty cool as well. I have used the previous version from the war paint, and this is a very nice color for maybe painting gems in a treasure pile or just some tiny effects on a miniature. Gemstone red. This is another color that I'm familiar with. This has a very nice deep red metallic look, and it will probably be used mostly for, gems. Here's a closer look on all the metallic paints. They are now dry, and I think the coverage is very good. It's like the pigmentation is very high in these metallic paints, and I love each and every one of them. I will post a picture in the community tab so you can have a closer look at all these nice colors. I think these metallic paints is just totally awesome. I love each and every one of them. I had some problems with the true copper here, and I noticed that I didn't shake it enough. 30 seconds is apparently not enough if the paint have been sitting around for a while. So it also says shake well on the back here on the paint. Off camera, I gave it another layer, and then it just turned out pretty good, like all the rest of them. I have used these paints for painting miniatures and some of my terrain as well. I used some of the rough iron and the death metal. I used it in my temple build, where I used it to give it a very dark iron metallic look, and I dry brushed it, and I really like this worn metal look. I also used it to paint a mini. Here a while ago I painted this one here in one of my videos. This is Isa. I used the cobalt metal for the armor, and that is just cool. And if you highlight it with the mithril and give it some gold tints with the bright gold, then you have this result. Don't mind the face. I don't like how I painted that because I think I messed something up. One thing I want to say to the Army Painter. I need some colors from the old range in this. I had these 4 colors that were missing, and the purple, I use that sometimes, and I really think I miss a purple here in this line. Then we have this elven armor and the pink. I haven't used those two as much as I would have liked to, but this is, yeah. I save these just in case, but I really don't need them for something that I can think of at the moment. But the Azure Magic, that is something I'm going to miss from this range. This one here is actually pretty good as it is, but I'm very sad about they discontinuing it. I have used this mixed with the old version of the glittering green, and this gives me a turquoise metallic paint, and I use it when I stream on Twitch where I paint some Valorant miniatures, and I needed a turquoise metallic look for one of the agents. She has some orbs around her belt, and this just turned out perfectly with the mix of these two. 50-50 mix, and you got the perfect turquoise metallic. This is it for now. I hope you enjoyed. If you have something on your mind and you think I could have done something different, or a comment about the Fanatic paints, please leave a message down below. If you already haven't done it and you think I earned it, you can subscribe up here or actually down here. And this is it for now. Hope to see you again next week. Goodbye.